Do you guys feel that? It is the calm before the storm. The college football transfer portal opens back up tomorrow in Nebraska. Is expected to be very active. So in today's video, we're going to go over this Husker portal mega show. Every single positional group that I want Nebraska to pursue. What brand new transfers should they go after? What current Husker players do I foresee transferring? Some big names and so much more. This is going to be a jam-packed mega show. Before we get into all of it, hit that like button if you're excited about adding some new players to this roster. I know I am. And really quick, if you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content, portal updates every single day. You're going to want to stay in tune with what Nebraska is doing. Hit that subscribe button for the latest on the Huskers and the portal. Once again, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over this jam-packed Nebraska Spring Transfer Portal mega show. It opens back up tomorrow. And not only is Nebraska expected to be very active, adding on a couple extra players to this roster for the fall, but Nebraska is expected to lose about 20-25 guys to the portal, given that they've got to make some extensive cuts to get down to 105. So I want to get things going with the 3, if not 4 positional groups that I believe Nebraska needs to go after in the transfer portal. I tweeted this out yesterday. Looking at Nebraska's roster and looking at our schedule, I firmly believe we are an 8-9 win team. With that being said, we are 2, 3, maybe even 4 quality transfer portal additions away from being a potential playoff team. I truly believe that. And I posed this question: is Nebraska going to be aggressive? Are they going to continue to stack talent, or are they just going to choose loyalty over competition? Matt Rhule said when he got here that he was going to pick competition over everything. This is a time where you prove it. You feel really good about the roster, but are you satisfied? I'm personally not satisfied. So the 3 positional groups that I want Nebraska to go after, first things first, is running back. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Unlike other positions, there's going to be no shortage of talent at running back in the portal. There are going to be a lot of options for Nebraska if they do choose to go after one, which I believe they absolutely should. Again, you might believe in Quinn Ives. I believe a little bit in Quinn Ives. You might believe in Mekhi Nelson. But ask yourself this: can Nebraska do better? And every single one of you guys should say yes. Nebraska can do better than those 2 options. And there's already a lot of really good players in the transfer portal at the running back position. We already saw an Oklahoma transfer enter today, an Illinois transfer enter today, 4 Cal running backs entered yesterday. We'll talk about all the running backs in tomorrow's video. But again, there's no shortage of options. It'll cost you maybe only $100,000, $200,000 to get a quality running back in the portal. You got to go ahead and do it. Again, you can always improve that position. You can't just be okay with the way it is. You can always improve. You got to facilitate competition. Let's see what happens. So that's the first positional group that I'm looking out for Nebraska tomorrow and all week when the portal opens up. The second one is something that I'll go back to. I truly believe they need to add to this defensive line. Okay, this defensive line is good, not great. It is good, not great, and it's specifically not very good in the pass rush department. There is not a 3 technique on the roster who you feel comfortable and confident getting to the quarterback on a key 3rd down or a key 2nd down. There's just not. Okay, this defensive line consists of run stoppers. Riley Van Papa, run stopper. Cameron Lenhart, run stopper. Keona Davis can do a little bit of both, but he's primarily a run stopper. Elijah Judy, run stopper, and that's fine. Nebraska had one of the best run stopping D-lines last year. Okay, but just like last year, they couldn't get to the quarterback at a high level, and you lose Ty Robinson. Imagine how poorly we're going to get to the quarterback this year. So we need a 3 technique who can come in here, rush the passer. I'm not asking for a starter. I'm just not. I understand it's going to cost a lot of money to get a starter defensive lineman in the spring portal. It's going to cost you about $500,000, if not more. I'm not asking for a starter. I'm asking for a plug-and-play guy on a 3rd down. 3rd down, 3 technique. That's what we need. It only costs you about $200,000. I would do that 100% to add to this defensive line. 3rd position, I think Nebraska needs to go after at this point in time. It's tough. I would go back to the offensive line. I really would. I like the offensive line where it's at, and I think we've heard a lot of good things. It's progressed well during spring practice. But once again, are you satisfied? That's my big question. Are you satisfied with it? Because right now, I think it could be a top 20. It's not going to be top 10. It's not going to be top 5. Add depth there, especially at the tackle positions, because I'm going to tell you this, and we'll get to this as the video progresses. There's going to be a lot of unexpected transfers. And when I look at the unexpected transfers, I expect them to be on the offensive line. I expect a guy like Tate Prohaska to maybe leave. I expect a guy like Turner Corcoran to maybe leave. Because who says those guys want to sit on the bench in their final year of eligibility? I just don't buy that. They might leave. They might. Not saying it's going to happen, but they might. And you got to be ready when that happens. So, in my opinion, Nebraska needs to go after another offensive tackle. I don't love the depth there. It's very, very young. You feel good about the interior offensive line depth, but you need a swing tackle off the bench. You can do a little bit of everything. That'll cost you about $100,000, $200,000. But again, are you satisfied? I'm just not. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, you feel good about quarterback. You feel good about wide receiver, assuming you don't lose any surprise guys. I think you're fine at tight end. I know there's been some rumors that Nebraska might pursue a tight end. I don't feel like we're going to do that. Linebacker, I wouldn't mind a young middle linebacker with like 3 to 4 years of eligibility left who might not have a bunch of stats in his career but has high upside. I would not mind that because when you look at the young middle linebackers on this team, they're not very good. Like the only middle linebackers I feel good about are the true freshmen. And Christian Jones, Pierce Mover, and then of course, Vincent Shavers, right? But other than that, there's just not a lot of middle linebackers so you feel great about. Wouldn't mind adding a younger guy there. And then DB, do not expect us to take a DB in the portal. We have so many guys there. DB's going to be the big positional group. There's a lot of cuts in. You feel good about this DB room now. They're not going to take one there. I know there's people have been speculating, not going to happen. So running back, 3 technique, pass rusher, tackle, and I would not mind a middle linebacker. So those are the 3 positional groups that I want Nebraska to pursue. Again, I truly believe they are 3 to 4 quality portal additions away from bumping up their win total to maybe 8 wins to 10 portal or to a potential playoff team. So listen, it's very, very important. You got to facilitate competition over loyalty. Matt Rhule said he was going to do that when he got here. It's time to put up or shut up. Let's do it. Let's add some guys. We'll talk about it more as the week progresses. But talking a little bit about some guys who I could foresee going. Okay, let's just go through. Quarterback, I don't expect any quarterbacks to leave. I just don't. Running back, same deal there. I don't expect anyone to leave. If there is one to leave, it's going to be Quinn Knives. We saw the coaching staff hype up Quinn Knives last week. And I told you guys on Sunday, I think the reason they did that is not because he's not playing well. I think he is playing well. But they also did it because they want him to feel comfortable with his situation, that they don't want him to leave. But I think if there's a running back that's going to leave, it's going to be Quinn Knives. Wide receivers, I don't really think anybody's going to leave here. Demetrius Bell is somebody I'm worried about. I love Demetrius Bell. I hope he doesn't leave, but we'll see there. Janiran Bonner is somebody where it's like he's going into his, 3rd, 4th year. He might say, hey, I want to go start somewhere. It doesn't look like he's going to start. He's going to probably be the 4th guy on the depth chart. Tight end, I don't think we lose anybody. O-line, again, I already told you guys, Teddy Prohaska, Turner Corcoran, some of these older veterans. Tyler Knack might say, hey, I want to go start somewhere else at a lower level. Guys like that, I'm kind of worried about. But other than that, I feel pretty good that the offensive line will stay together. Defensive line, I don't foresee any surprises there. I really don't. I think the defensive line will pretty much stay intact. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a single player that leaves on this defensive line besides the guys who get cut. So, not going to be any surprises there. Linebacker, again, I told you guys I think Gage Stanger is going to leave. Would not be surprised if Vince Janatone leaves. That's a guy who has a really high athletic upside. He's from the state of Nebraska. It's like, do you want to play? Do you want to play? You're not going to play. Other than that, I think the linebacker core pretty much stay the same. And then, of course, DBs. We already told you guys it's gonna be crazy. The DB room is gonna be the positional group to watch because there's a lot of guys gonna get cut. I think DeAndre Barnes is gonna be on the way out. I think Jeremiah Charles is somebody who could be a surprise who doesn't get cut, but it says, hey, I want to go start somewhere else. He's been playing good throughout spring ball. Is it good enough to get in the 2 deep? I don't know. Braylon Prude. A lot of these Evan Cooper guys I expect to move on. Maybe a Rex Guthrie, President Okafor. That's a walk-on. Evan Taylor, guys like that. So there's gonna be a lot of people leaving that DB room. But the last thing I want to preface to you guys before we get out of here, not everybody who leaves in the portal got cut. So don't say, oh, such and such player got cut. Maybe, again, if, for example, if Evan Taylor left, maybe he got cut. But if Janiran Bonner leaves, don't say, oh, he got cut. No, some of these guys are just deciding to leave because they want to leave, they want to go somewhere else. It is what it is. Don't just naturally say, oh, that guy's leaving because he got cut. More likely than not, they aren't. So just wanted to talk about that, but we're going to have a lot of portal content throughout the week. We'll see how active Nebraska is. I expect them to get 2 or 3 guys. They're going to be very particular. I think they would be really, really dumb to not take somebody because, again, it's a good roster. It's actually a great roster, in my opinion. But is it elite? Is it good enough to, take that huge jump that we're expecting? I just don't know yet. I think you can always have room for a couple of really, really good quality players. So I expect Nebraska to be very particular. They're not going to take, 6 or 7 guys. That's just not going to happen. I think they're going to take 2, maybe 3 at the most, but hopefully they're quality additions who can come in here and play right away in the fall. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you want the most in the portal? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far on the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go be grab. Go Matt Rhule. See you in the next one.